What's up, you guys? My name's Noah. I make music as Haterade here for Sonic Academy. What we're going to do today is we are going to make some sweeps and some risers. Some crucial effects if you're making EDM or any type of dance music. I mean, to be honest, they use in a lot of different types of music. And while we have access to samples and all that stuff, sometimes it's cool to know how to make your own. You can add your own little twist to it, add your own little flavor. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a sweep. So all you're going to need for this is operator if you have or any sort of noise generator too if you use a different DAW. When we draw in a note here in operator, we're going to bring down the release and we're going to switch it to noise white. It's at sine by default, but we're going to switch it to noise white so it sounds like this. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add the MIDI pitch effect and we're going to bring it up all the way to plus 128. So now it sounds like this, like that, okay? Then what we're going to do is we are going to put an EQ on this and we are going to roll off some of those lows like that. And then the next part's really simple. All we're going to do is we are going to bring the 8 node down here. We're going to bring that down and we're going to give it a little bit of Q like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw in the pattern. You can also record this in too. If you have a MIDI controller with knobs on it, you can record this in as well. But for our purposes, we are just going to draw it in. So even if you don't have a MIDI controller, you can still do this. So basically what we're doing right here is we're going to grab the frequency knob so it automates from here all the way up, just like that. And it's important to have that Q up because that sweeping motion that we want in our sweep is going to be way more prominent if we bump that Q up. So listen to how it sounds now. So alternatively too, as we approach the end of our sweep, we can bring up this high pass filter as well. So we'll actually do this a little bit differently than the first one. We're going to bring this up sort of exponentially. To take this, we're going to curve that line. So it only comes up really there at the end. Then we can add a couple of extra things too. If we wanted to add in an auto pan, we could bring the rate down and then bring this up as it progresses. So then it's going to pan back and forth faster and faster and faster. You can kind of hear it. If you got headphones on, you'll be able to hear this going back and forth, back and forth. Then we can add in like the final touch here. So we could grab our shifter, make 2 points here and bring this up. The shifter has a really wide range, so just bringing it up, 2,000 hertz is quite a bit, and you guys will hear that difference right here. So it adds just a little bit of extra flair to it. All right, so that's essentially how to make a sweep. There are a couple of other things you can get into, but those are the basics right there. Now let's talk about risers. It's a really similar concept, except we're going to be using tone instead of noise. So here, I'm going to go with a sawtooth here. And this one's a little bit different. We're going to open up the envelopes and we're going to go to MIDI control, pitch bend, and I'm going to bring this all the way up to the top here like that. And by default, the pitch bend setting is set to 2 semitones. So over 8 bars, that's not really a whole lot. It's not really going to create that tension that you want in your riser. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our MIDI section here. And right where it says pitch, I'm going to click and hit 24 semitones. That's 2 octaves. So now from here, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. It's going to sound like this. So that's technically a riser, but it's kind of boring. So let's make it a little bit more exciting. I'm going to turn on the unison here. I'm going to hit classic. There are so many really cool unison options in Wavetable. I'm just going to use classic, but feel free to use any one that you want. Then I'm going to bring the amount down and I'm going to bring this up over time. up all the way there. Probably add a few more voices as well. Now, sounds a lot better. So we could do the same sort of filtering here with our low pass filter. Probably won't have so much of a cue on this one because it's already pretty tonal and we have that resonant peak already. So I'm just gonna low pass filter this in just like this. You can see that resonant peak there. Cool. And we can also do this too if we wanted to. If you wanted to add a little attack so it doesn't just appear abruptly, just give it a little attack here in the amp section there. Then what we're going to do is we are going to add the final touch here, which is reverb. So I'm going to take it from 100% and bring it down to 0. Except I'm going to do this exponentially like this. And I'm holding Option and clicking and dragging to make that line curve like that. So what this is going to do is it's going to create the illusion that the riser is far away and it's approaching us as the buildup progresses, and that creates a little bit more tension. And that's how you make risers and sweeps. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit like on it and subscribe to Sonic Academy, and head over to sonicacademy.com to check out all of our courses. We have so many great courses on there from world-class instructors. Go over there. There's definitely something there for you guys. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.